Lost Mine. I just picked a random story, so this is what we're going to read. It says, I said, I said, we can't do this. It will ruin the friendship. We would have not cared. In any world, nothing was going to stop what came. It was always going to happen. We would have found a new place, a bed maybe. We didn't need a bed. We got a chance and we took it. Time would have moved forward and he would have caught me at my sister's house. We would have found a spot in a field, stumbled into a bathroom, someone's car. Any world we would have found a way. And after the basement, who are we talking about? We're talking about my old friend Jesse. So this is a good story from Lost Mine. When I wrote Lost Mine, I was on medications. After I finished it, I got off of medications and then I spiraled into hallucinations, specifically about my old friend. So carry on. After the basement, I changed my look. I wore my hair down, I got new clothes, did all I could to look better. If the basement never happened, we would have stayed friends. I would have found him at a party, my hair would have fallen in my face, he would have brushed it away, then I would have looked then I would look at him, giving a pout and an eye roll. There he would be, 2 inches from my face, fighting back the urge to kiss. Jesse always had me leaned up against things. He would tower above you, doing this with all the girls, but when it was you, you would melt. He was quite the ladies' man. So, how I would describe Jesse is like Ricky Ricardo. He is very much when we're both in good moods and feeling ourselves. He's very much like Ricky Ricardo, and you just gotta let him roam about. And like for me, he's always just been my friend. I don't I've never really seen him in that way. That's why it's always like so difficult with Josh, because like I do write this stuff about Jesse because it's I'm attracted to everybody because of schizophrenia. I think I think everybody loves me. I love everybody and everybody loves me. And that is a true reality. People do love me. But I would marry Josh. Like Josh would be my husband. Jesse's just like a good time guy. He's just, it was whoever was at the party that night. That's really back in the day. That's what it was. And then I settled down with Jeff and me. So the thing about let's just talk about J Boys for a second. The thing about Jesse and Josh is when I was 14, I had met Josh. And I think that's how Jesse and Josh became good friends, is because I told Jesse like every day, like I stalked Josh. I'm a stalker. I was like, that's my future husband. I'm in love with him. You're gonna be friends with him. You guys are gonna really hit it off, and we're all gonna you know, that's the one. That's the one I want. That he looks like Johnny, and that's who I want. And so, like, I made it really clear back in high school that I was interested in Josh. I wore Josh t-shirts. I make it clear. It was much like how I am now. Like, I have a podcast where I talk openly about it. But Josh was unsure about me. He was a boy and there was other girls, and like I've grown up and understood like boys want options and nobody really wants to settle down until you do meet that one. And I just always thought it was me and Josh. But there's this thing where I have written all these love stories about Jesse, but it's for the show. It's me, it's Jesse and Stacy. It's the Jesse Stacy show. Woo! It's how it started. So like Jesse's the star, and if he doesn't get pages, he's cranky. And he likes to be wrote about. He likes to be written and talked about. Josh is more of a mowing the grass type of Dolly's kind of husband, where he doesn't want to be known or famous, and you're not gonna catch him on the internet. But Jesse likes to be out and about and open and make movies and get famous, and he's gonna marry this girl that he's with. I really feel that. It's been 5 years. I'm completely over it. I cry every other week about one of one of you, and that's just because my body needs to. I think my body needs tears. I don't think it's some deep emotions. Um, but after the basement, I changed my look. I wore my hair down, I got new clothes, did all I could to look better. If the basement never happened, we would have stayed friends. I would have found him at a party, my hair would have fallen in my face. He would have brushed it away, and then I would have looked at him, giving the pout and the eye roll. There he would be, inches 2 inches from my face, fighting back the urge to kiss. Jesse always had me lean up against things. He would tower above me, doing this with all the girls, but when it was your turn, you would melt. Being over 6 foot tall, when he was 16, he shot up in middle school. So I took the approach of just trying to write him handsomely for his because that's what he wants. He just wants somebody to write his life story, write him handsome, and be kind and nice to him. But he also likes to get roughed up. So when I go in the stories where I'm roughing him up, he likes those kind of stories because even though he wouldn't ever admit it out loud or in public, he enjoys it. He likes it. And I know he's my one fan that watches my YouTube channel. And I would tower, when we were in middle school, I would tower over him because he was a little boy and he was my red-faced friend, and I never looked at him in a romantic way. He was my buddy. I roughhouse with him. When he would get to be about 15, the roughhousing was more intense. And I think my biggest problem was that I wrestled all of my guy friends, and I think I have panic attacks and about it. So I realized that, like, we wrestled. When I say wrestled, we wrestled. We wrestled hard. My cousin was a wrestler, so he was always wrestling me, and then I would wrestle my friends, my guy friends. And so with Jesse, the wrestling got longer, and the heavy breathing would lead to panting, and I would have to take my shirt off and leave me in a tank top, and then I would challenge him to round two, and he would agree quickly. This would lead to dance offs and Twister. If the apple never happened, we would have grown out of our slumber party games. The world would have moved forward. There, we would have stayed in touch, and we still did. And even with the apple, it just never was the same. And the thing about the apple is, it was assault. Yeah, I shouldn't have did it, but makes for a great story. Lost mine. Thank you.